This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Eagles, Falcons, Monday night. We have a lot to discuss regarding the key matchups, who I'm worried about on the Falcons that can make a really big contributor to their win if that's the case. And we're going to be going over a lot regarding what the Eagles need to do to beat the Atlanta Falcons in our actual home opener at the Link Monday night. A lot to discuss here, so let's get straight into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend. By the time you watch this video, we'll be going through, obviously, we'll be watching the rest of these games on Sunday, and then really the Eagles having their technical home opener on Monday night. A lot to discuss here. Are the Eagles going to clean up, and hopefully gel more, look a lot better going into this Monday night game? Is the defensive line, the pressure going to be there? Are we going to look better? Every week we should be looking better. So that's what we're hoping going to Monday night. Before we get into the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles, this video is sponsored by BetUS, and this is a word from our sponsors at BetUS. If I'm the betting man, then I am, and you're rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the redemption year for Jalen Hurts. This is the year we get the bad taste out of our mouths from last season. If I'm going all in, ride or die with a Super Bowl and bringing that Lombardi trophy back to Philadelphia for a second time, you need to go to BetUS, and I'm not wasting any time with it. I'm putting $500 down as the risk and getting $7,000 back at the end of the year because this offense is going to be explosive. This defense by Vic Fangio is going to be dynamic. A 150% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. Click the link in the description below. Start betting and start winning. So going to the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles, because I pretty much said after A.J. Brown was limited and obviously had a tweak. Now, Nick Sirianni did talk about A.J. Brown saying, is it a tightness? Is it a tweak for A.J. Brown with his hamstring? We're not really sure. So now from limited to now questionable, as I said yesterday, I don't think the Eagles are going to play him. Number two, the Philadelphia Eagles are not going to let the Atlanta Falcons know if A.J. Brown is playing. Okay, that's a whole nother thing. So who knows? He could be 100% healthy right now. But for me, because it's week 2 and because you brought in a Jahan Dotson and you can elevate Paris Campbell, keep Jahan Dotson at 3 if you really want to, going into this game on Monday night, I think will make a difference. This offense was built for this specific reason. God forbid a player goes down. This isn't week 14 where we have to win this game to get to the first seed or whatnot when you really need A.J. Brown the most. Do not play A.J. Brown on Monday night if he has a little bit of if he's uncomfortable, if he has a little bit of soreness in that hamstring. You don't want to have A.J. Brown having this lingering injury all year. Rest him. But like I said, there is no answer on if it's a tweak, a tightness. Nick Sirianni has no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. But in my opinion, okay, I don't think he's playing at all. And I've said this since yesterday, and people are like, technically, they never said he was out. They did not. But in my own opinion, because I feel like he is already not even playing on Monday. That's what I was trying to say the other day, and that's where we are right now. And if I'm wrong, great if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, then perfectly fine. It's the smartest thing to do for A.J. Brown and for the rest of this team going forward, because Paris Campbell hasn't played enough. And on the injury report in general, added to it, Johnny Wilson has a hamstring injury now. So you're down another receiver. So you're down to Covey, and you're down to an elevation from the practice squad from Paris Campbell, most likely. Now, the other ones, you had Fred Johnson with a thumb. You had Isaiah Rodgers with a hand, full practice. Tyler Steen, ankle, full practice. Devin White, ankle, full practice. He will not start. Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond will be given the duties, which I'm very happy about. Milton Williams with a foot, full practice. So it looks pretty good. Wide receiver has taken a little bit of a hit this week. And like I said, I don't think A.J. Brown's playing in this game at all. Now, the 5 key, we'll go into, obviously, the players that, really the players we're going to be talking about here is obviously Kirk Cousins, okay, coming to Philadelphia. The Falcons paid him a lot of money. They drafted a quarterback on top of it in the first round. We know the story of how the Falcons have no idea what the hell they're doing at quarterback. It just makes no sense to me why they even did that. Kirk Cousins was coming off of an injury from last year, so a lot of questions. Kirk Cousins, the biggest choker in prime time when the spotlight is on him, okay? Not the most mobile quarterback. We know this. He looked like last week against the Steelers, he looked like a statue pretty much. I mean, no snaps under center. It's pretty much been shotgun down the line. Okay, and I thought the Steelers did a pretty good job of getting pressure on him. And look, I think the Eagles can rattle him immediately. It really comes down to what they do against Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson, I think, is the focal point. And let me tell you something. He had 68 yards in the first game against the Steelers, so I think he was slowed down, definitely. But you want to try to make the Falcons one-dimensional, if you could take away that run game, because obviously the first half, I thought the Eagles did good against Green Bay against the run, and then the second half, they got gashed a lot. We cannot let that happen because I think Bijan is a bigger talent than Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs obviously has the better resume because he's been in the league a lot longer, but Bijan Robinson is a good dual threat back. I don't think the Falcons have gotten the most out of Bijan Robinson. I don't think the Atlanta Falcons have got the most out of Kyle Pitts. And his career as a tight end, not really that great. I think he needs to go on another team. I think he deserves to be coached. I don't think he's being coached the right way. He just looks like he's underutilized. I don't think Kyle Pitts is the threat. But with obviously Quinyon Mitchell being at that nickel spot now, if this was Avonte Maddox versus Kyle Pitts, I would say, man, if Kyle Pitts has his biggest game of the season against Avonte Maddox, we're in trouble. But since Isaiah Rodgers is coming to the fold on the outside as the number 2, Quinyon Mitchell gets the inside. We'll take on Kyle Pitts in that role. I think Quinyon Mitchell will be up to the task. But like I said, Bijan Robinson is the biggest dual threat weapon. He can catch you out of the backfield. He can do almost anything. What he does in the open field with his legs is absolutely amazing. Trust me, this was a guy I had interest in the draft, a couple years ago. And honestly, if we didn't take Jalen Carter, didn't fall to our lap, I thought Bijan would have been an Eagle. So I have a lot of praise for Bijan. And like I said, I think he is underutilized in that offense. Just doesn't look great with Kirk Cousins at quarterback in the nonchalant shotgun formation almost every single time. The 5 key matchups for the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, obviously Bryce Huff against McGarry. This is going to be a good one here because that's a pretty good tackle right there. Bryce Huff, the defensive line, needs to get pressure in this game. Okay, we just have to give it another week and another week and another week because the field conditions were horrible. We know that the DT pressure was a little bit better in that game. Obviously, we didn't get any sacks, but there was pressure from the DTs from the inside. But the edge, I don't know if they're getting Jalix Hunt back. He wasn't on the injury report, so getting Jalix Hunt back is huge for this defense, not only as a perimeter guy, but hopefully they'll have him, pass rush as well, and they really need to get him moving. He's a big mystery of this defense, but obviously Nolan Smith, and yes, Bryce Huff, $17 million a year, has got to show me a lot more than 2 assisted tackles, but like I said, the first game being in Brazil, horrible field conditions, it comes a toll, so I get it. Now, this one says Maddox versus Mooney. Look, the receivers with Drake London's a good receiver. They could move him all over the place. They could do a lot with him. I think really Drake London is probably the one receiver I'm really worried about, and it's really nothing crazy with Darnell Mooney, and I forgot J.J. McLeod, I think is another one. He's another speedster for the offense, so I like the matchups where we have on defensively for us at some points, which I'm actually pretty happy about. Becton versus Jarrett, Grady Jarrett, obviously very good. In his prime years of his career, I think Jarrett's a good pass rusher. So let's see if they can hold it down. Becton had played really good his first game, and seems like he's loving this team. And I thought the matchups were really good there. Malata and Judon. Judon, obviously the Falcons traded for Matthew Judon after we had a joint practice with them. As if he drops in coverage, he's not great, but as a pass rusher, he's still very good at his position. And then you have Jalen Carter versus Berger, which I think will be a good matchup, but I think Carter is going to have a good game regardless. I think we've overcompensated ourselves to say that at this point, Jalen Carter could beat almost anybody in this league. And I definitely feel that, whether it's a double team, but please these referees have got to be better in this game going forward, and get these calls because Jalen Carter should have had a few more penalties in that first game. And so, like I said, I'm not a fan of the Falcons wide receiver core besides Drake London, and it's not really saying much. Kyle Pitts underutilized. I don't think he's reached his full potential, but hopefully on Quinyon Mitchell, we'll hopefully shut him down a little bit. And Bijan Robinson is the focal point of that offense. I think he's the best player on their offense, to be honest with you. And Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, okay? Now, I obviously know that he chokes in these big games when the spotlight is on him, especially in Philadelphia, where the crowd is going to go crazy. And, hopefully the players are going to feed off of that. And that's what happens there. The defensive line, I thought the defense for the Falcons did really good last week in that first matchup. They only held Najee Harris, the running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, to 3.3 yards. And let me tell you something. If Saquon Barkley is averaged to 3.3 yards or lower than that, we got a big problem. Okay, we got a huge problem. So we'll see what happens. But Saquon Barkley should have a big game. And if you lose A.J. Brown for this game, guys, we were built for these moments. This is week 2. This isn't week 14, 15. Whether they put Jahan Dotson as the number 2 to Devontae Smith, or they keep him at the 3 and elevate Paris Campbell. I think I would elevate Paris Campbell for this game if A.J. Brown is not being able to play. And if the matchups are just not working out, then I would move Jahan to the outside. If Paris Campbell is just not getting anything done. Guys, remember, Paris Campbell was like the leading receiver in training camp when we had no pads on. Seems like he was the top guy, really, for that number 3 spot. And honestly, with some other receivers not working out, and, then finally we get the pads on and things start to change. And he dealt with the groin injury and only played that third preseason game. He missed a lot of time. He came back just as the joint practices were starting on a limited count, played the third preseason game. So Paris Campbell, can we really count on him on the outside? Can we really count on Britton Covey? They don't have a big, you lose a big receiver, you're losing size to your offense with speed. Nobody is A.J. Brown in this offense, but can they counterpart that? Can they replace that to do some different things? And Kellen Moore is good with that. And the deciding factor is really specific plays for certain guys in this offense, getting the run, maybe get the run game going just a little bit more. I think Saquon can handle over 26 touches overall, which he had, 26, 27 touches last week. I think that will be good. So the 2 safeties are good for the Falcons. You have A.J. Terrell at cornerback. He'll most likely be on the number 1 guy, whether it's Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown, if he's playing or not. And I think other than that, I don't think their linebackers are anything flashy. And you have Judon, you have Jarrett, so you have some veteran presences in that defensive line to that edge front, which I think our offensive line can handle no problem. So realistically, take care of Bijan Robinson defensively, okay? Make the Falcons offense one-dimensional, and then rattle Kirk Cousins all night. Like, if the Eagles don't get a sack on Kirk Cousins, I will frankly be probably shocked. And I think this game is really going to show me where this defensive line is at. And obviously, when there's no pressure, Fangio is going to have to dial up some blitz packages and do some different things. So that's where we're at. I think the Eagles could win this game. I see 38-24, 38-27, something like that. But I think the Eagles should really have a dominant game in Philadelphia at the Link, home opener against Kirk Cousins. And really, the only weapon I could worry about is that running back going out for the pass or getting the ball behind, at the line, or it's really Bijan Robinson to me when I look at that Falcons offense. If you could take care of that, you're doing some good things going forward. But other than that, guys, let me know what you guys think. What are you worried about going to this game? Do you think A.J. Brown is going to play? Like I said, he was apparently limited. Now he's questionable. I'm not shocked over it that the Eagles are going to take cautious reasons to not play him on Monday. I said yesterday that he is going to be out. He is probably not going to play at all. Not reported by the Eagles, but reported by me, because I don't think there is any reason to rush A.J. Brown back. And since he is questionable now, yeah, is it a loss for the offense? Sure. But at the end of the day, guys, Our offense is built for these moments where the next guy is going to step up, and you have Jahan Dotson here. He's played the outside, he's played the inside, but he's never been a number 3. Not the big focal point of this offense, but he might have more pressure on him if they decide to move him to the 2 or they decide to keep him at the 3 and obviously elevate. They're going to elevate a receiver regardless if A.J. Brown is out, so Paris Campbell will get his shot. With Johnny Wilson, now no, we're not going to have our great blocking from Johnny Wilson in this game. It's unfortunate. We don't want Johnny Wilson to start now getting hurt all the time, and hopefully can get healthy quick and come back and get involved. We want Johnny Wilson available for these games going forward, and that's pretty much about it. Let me know what you guys think about the matchups in general. Do you like Isaiah Rodgers coming as the number 2 and Quinn on the inside, or do you wish Quinyon selfishly still plays on the outside? You guys let me know in the comment section below. I will see you guys on the next one. This video is sponsored by BetUS. I want to thank BetUS for sponsoring this video. Get a 150% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with promo code YouTube150. Start betting, start winning, make a lot of money because the Eagles are going to make you a lot of money this season. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes it up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Pay.